If the human body's reaction to an injury is swelling, why do we always try to reduce the swelling? The human body has the awesome ability to heal itself in a lot of situations. When we injure something, the first thing we hear is to ice to reduce swelling. If that's the body's reaction and starting point to healing, why do we try so hard to reduce it? 'Cause the immune system has no chill and can end up causing damage to healthy or uninjured parts of the body. So in some cases it's better to rein it in than to let it run wild. Most times, however, controlling swelling is more to do with personal comfort than actually helping. Hurting, as all sorts of things can cause swelling, and most are pretty benign, so your body will heal fine with or without the discomfort brought on by swelling. Edit. Corrected usage of then versus than. Physiotherapist here. For sprains and other musculoskeletal injuries, rice, rest, ice, compression, elevation, is outdated, and likely counterproductive, as it promotes inactivity and passive treatment, especially the rest and ice parts. Swelling is part of the recovery process, and not necessarily bad, as long as range of motion is sufficient. Tissues like muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones and even skin need load to adapt properly. Ice can cause burns when not applied properly, never allow direct or prolonged skin contact, and lowers blood flow locally, thus slowing down the supply of nutrients etc., and only cools superficially, so it likely doesn't even reach the tissue that was damaged. It also potentially disrupts inflammation, angiogenesis and revascularization, just to name a few. Dubois and Esculier, 2019, proposed a new approach, peace-love. This covers the two phases of treatment. In the acute phase, peace, protect, for a few days. Elevate, to reduce swelling. Avoid anti-inflammatories, so no NSAIDs like ibuprofen, compress, to allow full range of motion. Educate, on further recovery. Then, after the acute phase, love. Load, active approach as soon as possible. Guided by pain. Optimism. Psychological factors influence symptoms and thus, recovery. Vascularization, increases blood flow and reduces pain. Exercise, improves mobility, strength and function.